Hello, Ubumye cohort. I hope you are doing well, and I hope you can learn a thing or two from my organizational analysis on Samaritan's Purse. I chose to look at Samaritan's Purse because I have known about Operation Christmas Child and have participated in that a couple times. Um, but I didn't really know anything else about the organization as a whole, so I thought it would be interesting to look into it. Samaritan's Purse, their slogan is helping in Jesus' name. Their mission statement says that they are a non denominational, evangelical Christian organization providing spiritual and physical aid to hurting people around the world. They specifically serve victims of war, poverty, natural disasters, disease, and famine. Evangelism is key for Samaritan's Purse. They prioritize sharing God's love through Jesus Christ and the gospel story. And the name Samaritan's Purse is derived from the parable of the Good Samaritan in Luke 10. After asking his listeners who the neighbor was in the parable, Jesus commands them to go and do likewise. So, this is the whole premise for the organization. History and background. Samaritan's Purse was founded in 1970 by Bob Pierce, who was an evangelist and a journalist. He had traveled a lot, mainly after World War II, and he had seen a lot of poverty around the world and really just wanted to be able to find a way to serve people in those situations. Somewhere in that time, he wrote, "Let my heart be broken with the things that break the heart of God." He specifically wanted to provide emergency response to crises and disasters. He also wanted to emphasize not only physical help, but also offering hope for eternity through the gospel. In 1975, Bob Pierce and Franklin Graham traveled to the world's neediest mission fields, which instilled in Graham a heart for missions. A little over a year after Bob Pierce passed away in 1978, Franklin Graham became president and chairman of the board of Samaritan's Purse in 1979. Today, Samaritan's Purse is a very large, very successful organization with many different ministries. They have 4 global offices, the main headquarters being in North Carolina. I wanted to start with the biblical foundations just because it is so prominent in everything that Samaritan's Purse does. So, as I mentioned earlier, Samaritan's Purse is an evangelical organization that prioritizes sharing the love of God through the gospel message in every ministry and every project that they do. Something interesting on their website is that they have posted a statement of faith, much like a church, with specific belief statements about each of these items listed on the left. With each statement, they have several scripture references that they use to back up their belief. Another distinct thing is their 5-step resource called Knowing God for anyone who might be interested in starting a relationship with Jesus. It presents the gospel in a really simple and concise way, and it also encourages any individual who does go through it and makes a decision to start a relationship with Christ, it encourages them to contact Samaritan's Purse directly through a little form that's right there on the page. And in turn, Samaritan's Purse sends them some Christian resources and more information. Understanding of poverty. The theory of poverty for Samaritan's Purse that I gleaned from the website seems to me to be a combination of poverty as deficit and poverty as entanglement. Looking at just the main ministries of evangelism, the primary and the oldest ones, which are disaster relief, medical missions, and of course evangelism, they seem to view poverty as a physical and spiritual deficit, as well as a lack of access to material resources, education, equipment, and of course the gospel. Some of their less developed and newer programs, however, seem to approach poverty as entanglement, which really provides a more holistic view of poverty and the people they serve. This quote by Bryant Myers in Walking with the Poor is in reference specifically to the theory of poverty as deficit. He writes, "These views of poverty are true, and as far as they go, they are correct. People do need things. However, limiting one's understanding of poverty to this deficit framework also creates some serious problems. The poor are reduced to passive recipients, incomplete human beings whom we make whole through our largesse." I want to mention these potential problems of understanding poverty as deficit and also look into the issues of ownership and sustainability and social transformation and relationships. If organizations fall into the simplistic, modern, Western worldview of poverty as deficit, it puts too much focus on materialism. They may tend to think that if they just provide the material resources or provide the access to education, then the poverty will go away. As we all know, this is a very simplistic solution that does not even begin to cover the complete issue of poverty. This idea will also lead to dependency on part of the people being helped as they grow accustomed to just receiving things passively from outsiders. This causes decreased dignity for them, as well as a God complex for the givers, who tend to feel like heroes in the story. So with any development program, organizations must ask if they are creating ownership and sustainability. Are the people they serving actively contributing, participating, and taking ownership? Or are they just passive recipients and victims that Bryant Myers warns against? It is this ownership that will help make any program more sustainable. As mentioned, much of Samaritan's Purse's mission is emergency and crisis relief and medical care, along with evangelism. But how are they following up after the initial relief period is over? Social transformation and relationships are essential for transformational development as well. There's not much in the way of programs that addresses social justice or institutional change specifically at Samaritan's Purse, but some of their newer programs address relationships as a move toward transformation, such as their women's programs and discipleship education and training programs. This is a list of ministry areas in which they are practicing development. They are working to address many areas and many different aspects of life so as to approach poverty and disaster relief more holistically. Samaritan's Purse has a myriad of marketing avenues. The website itself is full of content and good information and is also very easy to navigate. Anyone interested in staying up to date on the ministry can either just look at the ministry highlights on the homepage of the website, which are updated frequently, or they can easily sign up to receive the mailed newsletter or email updates. The website also provides legal permissions for anyone wanting to use the Samaritan's Purse logo or any other copyrighted material. If they want to use any material that is not specified on that page, they can simply fill out contact information and a request right there on the page that sends to Samaritan's Purse, and with the promise of them replying very promptly. The website also has ready-to-use web banners if anyone wants to put one on a website of their own as advertisement for Samaritan's Purse. Another couple ways that individuals can get involved is through blogging or doing a fundraising campaign. If anyone is interested in this, again, they contact Samaritan's Purse, let them know, and then Samaritan's Purse sends information to help them more easily implement those. And this also provides marketing for Samaritan's Purse with the individuals doing the work. The website also has several media formats that are very professional and very well done. They have a ton of photographs, videos, and articles about Samaritan's Purse. And they also have a few fact sheets, such as they have one that is an overview of Samaritan's Purse, and then they also have others for some of the main ministries and programs that they do. And then another subtle or not so subtle way of marketing for Samaritan's Purse is utilizing the Graham family legacy. So Franklin Graham is the son of evangelist Billy Graham, and there's a lot of emphasis put on Franklin Graham himself. There's a section on the website dedicated to his biography, his bibliography, his festivals, which are essentially spiritual crusades that he does through the Billy Graham Evangelical Association, of which he is also the president. So some think that there's a bit too much emphasis put on Franklin Graham, but it is certainly a good way to market Samaritan's Purse through his other participation and his well-known family name. The Samaritan's Purse website makes it very clear that they really value integrity and transparency and responsibility with financial stewardship. They demonstrate this openness by posting their annual ministry report. They post Form 990 for each year, which is their federal tax return. So currently on the website they have their form for 2016, and I assume they will shortly put up their form for 2017. And they also have the consolidated financial statements and supplemental schedules with independent auditor's report posted on December 31st, 2017. So this is a very recent report, and it details in a much more complex way than I can understand their financial state. But the fact that they post all of these on the website for anyone to see really shows their desire to have integrity and be accountable with their financial resources. For 2017, their total revenue was $800,823,590, and their total expenses were only $610,920,113. In 2017, the percent of expenses for administration and fundraising was 12.4%. So this means that 87.6% of their total expenses for 2017 went directly to ministry and development programs, which is a good amount. Samaritan's Purse has many career and internship opportunities. Currently, there are 93 open job postings on the website. Many of these are ongoing recruitment for short-term positions, such as for doctors to work 2 to 4 weeks in the field to fill in for doctors who have been there but are going on leave for a short period. The Disaster Assistance Response Team, these are professional contracted employees that work for 2 to 4 weeks in response to specific crises or disasters. And so these employees are on call, and they have to be skilled and experienced working in fast-paced environments with specific medical or construction or disaster relief skills. And they have to be willing to be on call and go at a moment's notice. The post-residency program, this is a 2-year program for doctors who have just finished their residency programs through school. And it provides them an opportunity to hone their skills and develop new skills while serving abroad. And it also gives them the chance to see if they would like to do medical missions long term. And it is fully funded for them, so it's a really good opportunity. As far as internships go, there are a lot of internships available. The website didn't state specific internships, but there are ones available both at the office headquarters in North Carolina and internationally in a few different countries. Students in any field or with any degree are able to apply. It appears to me from the information on the website that there are many different types of internships, and they can be catered somewhat to the specific skills and degree of the students that apply. Current undergraduate and graduate students, as well as recently graduated students, are welcome to apply. And they do receive monthly stipends both in the international and the national internships. So in closing, Samaritan's Purse is a far-reaching ministry to help people in need. While at first glance it seems focused too much on material poverty, it also has many developing programs that are moving toward holistic transformational development. Thank you for listening.